your spirit. A reading from the Holy Gospel according to St. Matthew. Chapter 24, verses 42 to 51. At that time, Jesus said to his disciples, "Stay awake, for you do not know on what day your Lord is coming. But know this, that if the master of the house had known in what part of the night the thief was coming, he would have stayed awake and would not have let his house be broken into. Therefore you must also be ready, for the Son of Man is coming at an hour you do not expect. Who then is a faithful and wise servant, whom his master has set over his household to give them their food at the proper time? Blessed is that servant whom his master will find so doing when he comes. Truly I say to you, he will set him over all his possessions. But if that wicked servant says to himself, 'My master is delayed,' and begins to beat his fellow servants and eats and drinks with drunkards, the master of that servant will come on a day when he does not expect him, and at an hour he does not know, and will cut him in pieces and put him with the hypocrites. In that place there will be weeping and gnashing of teeth." The Gospel of the Lord. Dear friends, a beautiful gospel for today, for all of us to reflect on a lot of our own realities. Very many examples come to my mind to reflect with the text of today. And we have a similar scene. The whole gospel passage is seen in the famous film, the film which won the Academy Award, the Oscar Award for this year, Parasite. If you watched it, there is a scene where the servants remain at home once the masters go out, and they eat, drink, and make merry, and suddenly the master comes back. And I literally could see this whole parable being enacted there in the Parasite, of course in a completely different context and with a different theme. But the idea is, you need to be ready for the master to come back at any point of time, and you have to be prepared. It is not that you're just arranging and getting ready so that you impress your master, but you do your work, a regular job that you have been doing faithfully. Whether the master comes today or tomorrow, that does not make any difference. So also we see in the results of especially the 10th standard children's result was very interesting this year, because they have not written the public exam, but their marks were calculated. Even the college students, for that matter, their internal marks and everything was calculated. Their quarterly, their half-yearly marks were calculated and put them together, and the government, the board, the education board announced the result based on their grades which they have done throughout the year, instead of preparing themselves for the final exams. Now, what really happened? The students who were doing well consistently from the beginning scored very high marks, and the rest of the students who wait for the last minute to put their best and come out with brilliant scores had to fail miserably, because the situation today is very different. Also the whole corona. None of us expected this pandemic. We had our plans, we had our budget, we had everything ready, but all of a sudden it hits like this, and we have no clue. And are we prepared for all this? Dear friends, this whole phenomena of procrastination is there in every one of us. We postpone things. It's not just about living our normal life or everyday life, but also when it comes to our spiritual life, we keep postponing things. For instance, when do I make my sacrament of reconciliation? We will wait for Easter, we'll wait for Christmas. And for every priest, when it is always written in the altar, make sure when you celebrate this Mass, let it be the Mass like you celebrate it as if it is your first or the only or the last Mass that you're going to celebrate. So when we have this mentality that the Lord that has given you a beautiful day to live, and maybe this is a last day, we will be always prepared. And if we have this mindset of being prepared all the time, we will not be worried about inspection, we will not be worried about examination, we will not be worried about evaluation. None of these things will matter to us because we are ready for every day. We live every day as if that is the last day, and we live it also in a faithful manner. Dear friends, this is a big temptation for all of us. We keep it till the end, we keep it till the end, we keep it till the end without knowing when the end is going to come. And if the end is going to come today, we will all be completely lost and we will be clueless, and that is where we are going to make our life into completely a miserable one. So what is the beautiful lesson for all of us today? Every day let us live our life faithfully, and let's live it to the maximum, and let's be prepared for the end every day, and without worrying about whether the end is going to come today or tomorrow. Let's live our life as if there is nothing wrong. Be faithful to our little works. Let's not postpone anything, my dear friends. If we live a life like that, every day that we live, all the 365 days in the year, will be a wonderful and beautiful and an enriching experience for all of us. Let us